All right, we are back live with Insurance Claims Radio. This is your place to find information when you have a troubled insurance claim, whether residential or commercial. A couple of the people on the panel, like myself, specialize in complex, large loss, troubled commercial claims. I've got James D'Angelo, very successful public adjuster, 35 years experience. I have Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting, also very experienced and is a professional contractor. He does residential and commercial. James, the public adjuster, can be reached at 303-885-3731. Ryan at Blue Ribbon Contract can be reached at 720-975-4253. And I'm your host, Phil Coutu, with at rooftoproofing.com and powerappraisers.com. I can be reached or text at 720-296-3492. And we're here with our panel today. We left off the last show. We're into granular loss and talking about red flags on claims. We're going to pick it up there. We want the people out there that have a hail claim, a wind claim. It's always fantastic to get another opinion. We're also diving into coverage issues, how the insurance industry has been limiting the coverage, and you're getting these small discounts and not be realizing what can happen. So here at rooftoproofing.com, power adjusters, power appraisers, we do multi aspects to the claim. I'm also a licensed public adjuster myself. I've been in this game over 34 years, been roofing since I'm 13. We have a lot of forensic tools these days to help win claims. So some of your first red flags, people out there, we're going to talk about. Your insurance company comes out, people in the neighborhood or other commercial buildings are getting new roofs. Your insurance company goes, oh, there's no damage. Your first red flag. Your second red flag. Oh, yeah, I looked at your roof. I'm not sure. You got an experienced adjuster. I need an engineer. That's a red flag. Could an engineer possibly be limiting his information to try to save the insurance company on liability and a payout? Absolutely. Some of your other red flags, your roof's repairable. These are all things when you need somebody off of this panel that's highly experienced, because it's very easy to get into this business. Too easy. The licensing regulations are really lax. There actually is no adjuster licensing in Colorado for adjusters. However, there is for public adjusters. Go figure that one. And so we're talking about these issues. So you guys, let's open it up a little bit. Let's talk about some of the simple things for people out there. What do you do when an insurance company says your roof's repairable?
You definitely need a second opinion at that point. You know, Phil, you had mentioned that red flags when they come out and they say it's repairable, or we're going to pay a partial and we're going to bring on an engineer. Well, the fact is they're bringing on their engineer. You need your own set of experts. You need your own set of experts that not only know the construction portion of it, you also need your own set of experts that know the policy portion of it. In one of your earlier shows, we had mentioned how vague policies are written. Well, that same vagueness could be used to your benefit in the right hands with the right person. So you need to get your own set of experts when you're putting your claim together. I mentioned the term strategy. Every claim takes its own strategy. Every appraisal needs its own strategy. Everyone is truly different. If you try to do claims cookie cutter, which the carrier prefers, they prefer you go cookie cutter, you may be limiting yourself.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. What do you think about some of that stuff, Ryan?
I think there's a couple of things when you're looking for contractors and you're looking at how am I going to get a second opinion. I agree 100% with James that, hey, they start telling you we're going to bring an engineer. They're giving you red flags on the portion. You got to have somebody that understands it. The other thing you got to look at too is you want a contractor, and you should ask this question on every contractor that you bring in. How well do you understand the carrier's software? Because the biggest thing is if you don't understand the software and you don't understand how they're going through and they're bidding the product out, you're not going to get everything covered, and your contractor in the back end is going to cut corners. And then when they cut corners, you could essentially have more damage. So my thing is if you're out there and you're looking around and your listeners are listening to this, whether you're residential or commercial, and you've got roofs that are going around, I think one of the big misconceptions that we see out there as Blue Ribbon is that people say, you know what, if I go ahead and I file that claim, my insurance is going to go up. And guess what? Your insurance is going up anyways. So
Yeah, people, it's going up anyways when there's a bunch of claims in a zip code.
it doesn't matter. So if you don't get your roof, it's not like you had an auto accident and they're going to go ahead and say, hey, you had an auto accident. We're just going to raise your insurance. They're going to raise everybody's insurance up.
Yeah, I want to go one step further there, Ryan, because you just hit on something. You not filing that claim, you're actually hurting yourself because you have damages to that roof. That policy that you have in your hand at the time of loss states that there's a statute of limitations on the time that they will pay that claim. Once that statute runs out, you still have the damages. And the next carrier that comes along, or your carrier, they keep records. They know that your home was hit, or they know your property, your commercial property was hit. They know it's damaged. It isn't a secret. Today, with all the data and technology that we have at our fingertips, it is in your best interest to file the claim. In fact, you have a duty under the policy to file the claim. So you're not really saving any money.
100%. I mean, I agree with you, James, 100% on that. And the other thing is, call in for the inspection. If the company doesn't offer a free inspection, don't use them. I mean, we all offer free inspections to come up there, see if there's damage, and take you through the portion. So I think you have the first part of really understanding, hey, do I need to file a claim or not file a claim? And the listeners, everybody's been hit at some point with the hail.
All right, you're here live at Insurance Claims Radio, and we're going to take a quick break. Do you have a commercial hail claim, troubled hail claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. All right, we're back live with Insurance Claims Radio. I'm Phil Coutu at rooftoproofing.com. You can call or text me at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. We're also got Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting and James D'Angelo, longtime public adjuster that's online on the show with us right now too. So let's pick it up where we're at, guys.
So,
Well, Ryan, you in that last segment, Ryan, you had just mentioned all three of us, whether it be Phil Coutu from Rooftop, Ryan with Blue Ribbon, or myself as a public adjuster, we will all come out and inspect your property and give you our personal, professional opinion without charge, okay, without charge, and give you some ideas of how to move forward in your claim. Ryan, I'm sorry for stepping on that.
oh, that's all right. I think the other portion is if you've got homes that are getting roofs built around you, it's worth at least giving the call in and finding out so that you make sure that you're covered. Because as James mentioned, there is a time frame that you're held to. You can't see hail from the ground. The hail damage typically, if you've got baseball, it's pretty easy to notice. I mean, for most people that are trained to do it. But you need somebody to get up on your roof and take a look at the portion. And then like Phil said, hey, I'm going to call out an engineer. So my question to you, to James and Phil, is why would the insurance adjuster want to call out an engineer, which James already said, oh, by the way, listeners, this engineer works for the carrier. They don't work for you. So what you want to do is you want to find somebody that's working for you. And the people on this panel, we're working for you to make sure that your house gets brought back to pre-loss.
You know, Ryan, this is James again. A carrier calling out an engineer or one of their experts, they're actually calling it out, those experts out to support their position. That's key. It's to support their position. Whether that position be there's no damage, minor damage, it can be repaired, But that's why that engineer is being called out there.
Yeah, but guys, isn't an engineer supposed to be unbiased and independent?
Yeah, they are supposed to be. But guess what? If you're an engineering firm and you get 99% of your revenue through the carriers, you're going to be unbiased.
So what are you saying there, James?
I'm going to be saying that things are going to be tilted towards their client's view.
You guys, you have any opinion on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that James is absolutely correct. You want to know how much business these people are getting from one side or the other so that you have an unbiased person making a decision. That's why we go to appraisal. That's why we have umpires in this business, is because we have people and carriers that are using that portion to get what they want. Let's face it. We all pay fees to the insurance company, right? They love collecting your checks. They don't love paying it out. Right.
So let's bring a good point that's going on in society, just in general, with all kinds of things. You know, it gets into like, are you innocent till you're proven guilty? What we're looking at is facts. And the fact is, an engineer is supposed to be unbiased. However, you know, you can't get away from that old passage that says the borrower is beholden to the lender. And so let me tell you how this works. Since I have a lengthy career actually working for the insurance industry, now I primarily represent the public. However, I sometimes still do work for the insurance industry. I get called on certain things. I'm still an umpire, an appraiser. I'm a roofing contractor and a public adjuster. And my experience has been where I've actually been an adjuster working for a very prominent insurance company where my engineer behind my back got told to bury an engineering report on 131 units in Florida in 2005. And I remember being on with this really prominent engineering company going, well, I thought when we were on the roof, out of 131 buildings, we came up that about 66 should be totaled, and the other 65 are repairable, different varying degrees. And so my engineer report was held up about 3 months. I'm trying to settle $1 million claim, 2005 in the hurricanes in Florida. And I'm the adjuster. I'm just doing my job. I'm the large loss adjuster out there. I've got a little bit more latitude because of my experience than other guys. Finally, my engineer report comes in, and they total like just a handful of roofs. And I'm like, what is going on? I get pulled out by my case manager. Phil, you're going down the wrong way. You need to lower your reserves. And I'm like, no. So I go out there with all these people and a roof inspector. And by the way, I am a licensed roof inspector, and I've been doing roof inspections since the 90s. So I'm just a quick story so everyone understands I'm out there. I'm like going, what is going on? So I get into it with my own company. I'm like, this is crap, you guys. At least 66 of these roofs, or probably more. I said, if they bring a good PN, there's a chance all these roofs could go. Okay, so I'm on the carrier side right now. And they take this roofing expert out, who's an adjuster there, who's a little bit older than me, and they stand on the roof and go, Phil, do you really think these are totaled? And I said, what are you guys saying? So I've got my own company turning against me. I'm fighting for my policyholder, but I am employed by them. They said, Phil, come on, look at this. Look at this. These are old roofs. They're wear and tear. This is a big tile complex. I said, and the roof inspector goes to me, Phil, if you were the condo president of this, with your knowledge, do you think these should all be totaled? I said, I told you guys 66 should be totaled. Come on, it's more like 10, Phil. That's what the engineer says. And I said, that's wrong. And so I fought tooth and nail. I ended up getting the 66 roofs totaled. It took me about 6 months. The carrier rolled over. But what happened is then I got called in by the president and said, Phil, we really like you. We know you've done a great service to us as an adjuster, but we're hearing all these ads on TV about public adjusters, how they increase the value. It's just a business decision. We don't want to offend you. We know you did a good job. Do you think we could get more roofs with a public adjuster? And I was like, oh, boy. And I said, honestly, the president said, hey, listen, I haven't been paid yet by the insurance company. Can you hold off on that a little bit? And I said, well, there's different ways to skin a cat. That's all I can say. Anyways, about a year later, I'm at a trade show, and I run up, and this prominent public adjuster out of Florida goes, Phil Coutu, how do I know you? How do I know your name? I'm like, I don't know, sir, and we're talking. Oh, you own Rooftop Roofing? Yes, sir. Were you ever an adjuster? I said, yes, sir. He goes, were you on this particular claim, blah, 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 in Delray Beach, Florida? I said, yes, sir. He goes, holy cow, we've never had a client stand up for the adjuster like you. We held off putting in a report for 2 months. I said, how did that claim end up? He goes, well, you worked your butt off. We know you got to 5.3. We sold at 8.2. I said, really great. How would you guys do? He goes, it took us 9 months, but we got a hold of the engineering report from this prominent engineer. His first engineering draft, he decided He had a conscience. He is 72 years old. He totaled all 131 buildings. We found out that pressure through the insurance company, they lowered that report. I can't remember if it was 10 or 12. It was a handful of roofs. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Because that is outright fraud. I'm surprised they didn't go after them for bad faith, but sometimes PAs want to get to their money and everybody's happy. They don't want the insurance litigation. But I was just like, why? He goes, yeah, it was fantastic. We had to wait a little, but we found this. And these are things insurance carriers will do. Like in the hurricanes, Katrina, they've been busted for manipulating, and you can go online, research it. I don't want to drop names here because, we're a small, prominent, high-end radio show here, but we don't want to get into these litigation. These guys carry big checkbooks. But those are things that are happening. This is getting into why you need second opinions, why you need experience.
Phil, I want to interrupt you just 1 minute, though. I do want to make one statement, and Phil, you're aware of this. In fact, you and I had an experience with this. Not all engineers are unbiased or biased, however you want to look at it. We had an example with a claim you and I just settled together where the engineer came out right out of the box and stated that the roof was damaged. Of course, he lost his job, but he wrote a unbiased report. So there are engineers in the marketplace that work on both sides.
But let's hear what you just said. That gentleman actually lost his job.
He did lose his job.
And that engineer, even though he's on the opposite side that I generally am on now, he's a fantastic and honorable engineer.
Correct.
He lost his job for being honest.
And that's my point.
After 7 years at one specific engineering company.
We don't know specifically he lost it for that. We believe that's the case. But I wanted to
let's back up there. I know specifically after having talked to him. But let's hold that thought. We're coming right back. We're Insurance Claims Radio. I'm Phil Coutu at rooftoproofing.com, Power Appraisers, Power Adjusters. Our number is 720-296-3492. We'll be back. Do you have a commercial hail claim, troubled hail claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. All right, we're back at Insurance Claims Radio. We're live here with James D'Angelo, prominent public adjuster. He can be reached at 303-885-3731. My other guest today is Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting. He can be reached at 720-975-4253. I'm your host, Phil Coutu, and I am at rooftoproofing.com, Power Appraisers, Power Adjusters, and several other companies. And we specialize in troubled insurance claims, specifically property damaged, hail, wind, tornado, even fire losses, all types of losses like that. And we're going to pick it up, James. We were speaking about a prominent engineer that's been in the industry for a long time in Colorado that we think is really honest. He primarily works for the insurance industry. And we're talking about on a specific claim myself and James handled together where he wrote an honest report and the carrier. The shocking thing was this was a very high-end carrier that seldom has conflicts, one of the best out there. He ended up losing his job because he wrote an honest report. So we want to get back, open it up to Ryan and or James here, and let's speak about engineering a little bit more in the insurance industry as it relates to hail claims and other types of claims.
Well, Phil, your question was originally, do I think that there's engineers that would skew their reports towards their employer, towards their client, which would be the insurance company or even the claimant? And the answer is yes. Good examples. You mentioned Katrina. Phil, you can go back to Sandy. 60 Minutes did a couple of shows there that were just fabulous, exposing these engineers that changed their reports after the fact, deleted things. going back to the original reports. And I can even recall the early 90s, there was a earthquake in Southern California, and there was engineers cited there also that changed reports.
So James is pointing out there that there is a problem in the industry about engineers unbiased, are being biased, and it's a really big problem. And one of oh, thank you so much. So our producer here just brought us sugar and cream for our coffee, so we're quite grateful there, Dave. So one of the things that we've seen, and I've witnessed it myself, both when I work for the carrier and when I don't work for the carrier, and it could be even like, let's not forget too, everybody, sometimes there's tremendous pressure if an engineer is working for a roofing company, and so you really need professionals, because one thing I want to discuss is that they can be biased on our side as well because they're getting paid by us and there's pressure. So I'm always looking, and I have a vast experience of hail damage. I've been doing this over 34 years. And I've been a roofer since I was 13 and a public adjuster spanning a couple decades now. One of the things I want is an unbiased opinion. One of the problems we run into is a lot of these engineers are book smart, but they don't totally understand all the aspects. And I really want to touch on this because often I consult with attorneys. I do still consult with the insurance industry. I got some instances where they'll call me up for my opinion. And sometimes there are insurance companies that want to get the facts of what's really going on. We got all these varying opinions. It's a mess. Our engineers are saying there is no damage here. This is mechanical defect. And these are things we want our policyholders to be aware of. You really want to get these second opinions by seasoned veterans and guys that you trust, because there are often claims. I got to tell I just had to write a proposal for an attorney literally 2 weeks ago, where he's like, hey, we got these two prominent public adjusters, Phil. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to write against people in my industry. I just need an honest opinion. The award, they went to insurance appraisal and the award didn't go their way. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, and everyone's telling me I got to challenge this award and I'm in for $100,000 already on this claim. I'm like, okay, I'll go look at the buildings. And honestly, I got there and I was in shock. And I said, I don't want to put my name on this report with people in my industry because they're going to call me up and be upset at me because they're public adjusters, which I often do now. I'm often on the public adjusting side. And I had to write a report. I said, hey, let me give you the verbiage. I need it in writing. I said, okay, I'll do it. It just, I don't know what these public adjusters and roofers were looking at, but we had roofs that were very old. And there's multiple storms when you go back and do the forensic research. And I said, honestly, to challenge this claim is a loser. If I was the insurance attorney or I owned half of your company, I wouldn't take this one on. You guys lost fair and square in appraisal. There is a little bit of hail damage, but it's not what I usually see. Usually I find usually on the public adjusting side, the roofer side, there's more honesty. They're fighting for you to get you the claim. And sure, there's an incentive. It's monetized. They're getting money. It's incentive for the insurance company. So it's really hard for a policyholder sometimes to weed through the truth. And that's where we come in. That's where the guys sitting here, they're on this panel today because they're honest, reputable guys. And sometimes we're actually going to see it the insurance company way when we're on that side because it isn't that damage. But there's many times, too, where everybody misses the damage and we got forensic damage on underside of roofing products. And I want to talk a little bit about that. What do you know if you're not getting your own expert? I've had roofs where they said there's no damage. I've settled claims for millions of dollars because the damage was hidden. And with the laws of manifestation, freeze, thaw, UVA, sunlight, wind, the hail impacts or the wind did damage that was not visible. And I know my client on that $2 million roof, the insurance company said there was no damage or minimal damage. It's going to be holding the bag in 2-3 years, which is important because you're not going to get a claim in often these days 3 years after the date of loss. There's a statute of limitation in commercial policies. You got about 2 years. You can push it on a residential claim because some legislation that got passed several years ago up to 3 years. But there's a problem. I'm going to take us into so the policyholder realizes you need to report your claim right away these days. I'll tell you why. There's legislation that's been coming down that says that we're prejudicing the insurance. There used to be what's called a no prejudice rule. You had to prove there was prejudice to the insurance company. But there's been some recent legislation come out in Colorado now that says if you don't report that claim in a reasonable amount of time, that you're actually, there is prejudice to the insurance. And sometimes they can
They're
prove
claiming it.
Yeah. So you don't want to get caught up into those gray areas. And that's what this show is about. We're Insurance Claims Radio. I'm your host, Phil Coutu with rooftoproofing.com, powerappraisers.com, poweradjusters.com. I can be reached. You can text me. This is a cell number, 720-296-3492. I can be text or call that number. I'm here with James D'Angelo. He's a prominent public adjuster in Colorado and other states, 303-885-3731. He specializes in troubled commercial claims. I've worked with him personally on a lot of claims. He's fantastic. I'm also here with Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting. His phone number is 720-975-4253. He's Colorado-wide. I can be reached at 720-296-3492 or check us out at rooftoproofing.com. Do you have a commercial hail claim? Troubled hail claim? Underpaid claim? Missed damages? Bad faith? Possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com.